part 2 of insulin and COVID-19, I would like to come to this part 3 where we want to tell you that after realizing that what are the critical areas about the supply chain of insulin in the globe, in the country, in our local area, we now want to tell you what we are doing from the organization Diabetes Awareness in You. And for that, I need to introduce myself very briefly. I am a reasonably able prescriber of insulin for the last 3 decades. And if it is on an average, new 10 prescriptions are generated almost every given day, and especially in the last decade. And then with roughly some being lost to follow-up, some people unfortunately succumbing to the enormous burden of such serious morbidity, the present patient pool using insulin would range from approximately 11 to 12,000, which is a pretty handsome, pretty respectable and a fairly large number considering the proportion of the population that I cater to and the quality of patient profile that I'm blessed to offer my humble services for. Now, it is a standard dictum that whoever has been advised insulin from my clinic for whatever indication, he or she will never leave the clinic without self-injecting the first shot. And all the credit goes to the beautiful bevy of the divine angels whom you call, or the world calls, diabetes educators. We have a very formidable bunch of diabetes educators and who actually nurse the whole system. I am only, I am a bona fide prescriber of insulin because I got the license to write the product. Rest, everything they take care of. And that's the reason of the success of this clinic. They have such convincing skills with the right dose of motivational interviewing, and finally also the enormous courage and the caliber to do the right optimization and intensification of insulin. To get casually numbers like A1C from the range of 13, 14 to around a decent looking acceptable target of around 7-ish within 2 months, 3 months, within 1.5 months. Now, we have been getting a lot of phone calls and inquiries naturally because of that huge pool of patients from all across the state of West Bengal and the neighboring states of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Tripura, Assam, and the northeastern states about the shortage and the inkling, the idea that there would be a non-available, reserve. People are sensing it, people are getting the feel of it, and people have now started asking whether they can, change from one brand to the other, and also talking about whether they can change the strength. Suppose I'm giving somebody Humalog mix 25-75 in the morning and 50-50 at night. If there's no stock of 25-75, they're requesting for 25-75 twice a day. And then you need the intervention of a diabetes educator again to set the numbers and the glucose values to optimum. There are a lot of people, more than 100 patients on insulin pumps. And with all the supplies of consumables, they are facing a big challenge. And people who do not have the integrated, with a real-time sensor, with people who do not have CGMS-associated integrated pumps, they use a lot of glucometers for their titration of dosage of insulin. So they are facing problems. Nevertheless, I must congratulate and adequately be grateful to companies like Bayer and Roche who actually supply my glucometers, because for every individual patient or a person with diabetes, I make sure that he or she should have a glucometer. If he can't buy, we'll give it free of cost. In fact, the organization, our organization is called Diabetes Awareness in You, Day, and our logo is one drop of happy-looking blood, and we say that give a drop of blood and Day promises you freedom from diabetes. So every individual who is associated with Day should have a glucometer at home. And I'm also thankful to Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly, Sanofi, and also Biocon for their regular supply of insulin to my patients. We understand that there are a lot of people who are wondering how COVID-19 will affect the production of diabetes supplies because everything is restricted for the lockdown in all the countries. So how can people go into the plant and work? people. But FDA, it seems that they are closely monitoring the situation, and they say that they do not have any reports of indirect impact to any diabetes products. And also the developed countries, they say that the developed nations who supply insulin pumps, CGMs, the flash glucose monitoring, the AGP from Abbott, they are all reassuring us, the users of diabetes technology, that no company is actually anticipating significant interruption to their supply chain because of the COVID-19. And they're also, forbidding the attempt to stockpile supplies of consumables, as they claim that this is unnecessary and may create problems for other users. If demand remains as that it was before COVID, then there will be no shortages. But unfortunately, ours, like India, is not a public funded or a universal healthcare system. I will always ask you to be sure to renew and refill your prescriptions well before you run out. If the clinics and the pharmacies, they become busy with people, and the healthcare employees also become ill, it will become very hard to get the routine care and supplies, because there are a lot of pharmacies where there are delivery boys who will run to your house and give you the stock, but they are actually very few in number, and restriction is being imposed very thoroughly. This supply chain is getting completely abruptly cut off. From the actions that have been taken by the Association of Diabetes Care and Education Specialists, the ADSIS, and the journal ADSIS in Practice from the AAD, the American Association of Diabetes Educators, also the American Association of the College of Endocrinology, they are telling you to contact your physician, make your prescriptions current, because nowadays there are pharmacies who do not give the stock if there's another recent signature and date on that. So you can take the maximum number of refills as available. You need to consider all the backup medications. Like for diabetes, it is not only sugar, it's also blood pressure, cholesterol, uric acid, thyroid, other medications as well. So a lot of polypharmacy happens with a person with diabetes. So that backup should be done carefully. People on pump who use only one analog or rapid acting for basal and bolus, if they are running out of stock, they should make adequate handful of insulin pens with the rapid acting as well as the long acting. So now they can switch to the multiple daily injections of both basal and bolus just through pens. So or through syringes, whatever. So they should have vials as well if they're using syringe and vial. And you can, if you have insurance coverage and the health insurance company can waive your refill restrictions because of COVID-19, then you can have a typical 30-day time window where you can refill your prescription. But I personally, what I am asking people, because I foresee that in next 3 months also there would be not a very clear atmosphere, or I do not see it visible that way of normal flow or routine movement of activities. So I would try to tell you that you can enroll in whichever way to receive your 90-day prescription refills. As treating physician, of course, along with the team of my educator angels, I would also like to request you to have adequate stock of glucometers, strips, lancet, batteries, the disposable reservoir for insulin for the pump, the disposable infusion set with the cannula, and also the subcutaneous insertion, the quick serter. Also sensors, if you're using Abbott's Freestyle Libre or AGP, and that 14-day, you should have adequate stock. Do not underdose, or you extend changing the disposable infusion set if you're using pump. Normally we say for 3 days. You can do it, okay, fine, till 5 days, but don't do it beyond that. You can have the infusion site infection. Your glycemic control can completely go haywire, and you can land up in decay, or at times you can have clogs, and so that can again precipitate decay kind of situation, HHS kind of situation. And if you want to substitute your rapid analog to a regular insulin on a pump, no problem, but do call the doctor and the team to get the dose adjustment. Say for example, now the bolus should be given 30 minutes prior to food. because the PK/PD of both the products are different. And if you are on an integrated system of a pump, then you must make sure that your sensors are adequately available to keep that closed loop pump system, that artificial pancreas intact. We are facing a lot of difficulties now. I know our patients are calling because the supplies from the warehouses due to the lockdown, the supply to the chemist, that chain has broken. The warehouses stock medicines, and they're usually located all across the country, especially in the outskirts of the cities, because they have big inventories, which have been badly affected due to the existing dysfunctional transportation facility as well. Though the medical emergency supplies are not restricted, and the police or the law doesn't bar them from movement, yet there is some kind of a disruption, definitely, because there are people who are either calling in fright, in panic, or they're really facing the problem. Whatever it is a critical hour, and we need to bridge this burning problem of distribution cycle by being channel partners. So we thought, as an educational institute for diabetes, we will become knowledge providers as well as channel partners to responsibly deliver the essential medicines and the requisite consumables to the doorsteps of the children and the other beneficiaries that we have from the organization. We give a lot of insulin medicines free to people. So we in fact, in this process, we urged or we requested the West Bengal Commission for the Protection of Child Rights, chairperson Ms. Anunna Chakraborty, for her wholehearted support, and she was generous. She said immediately that we do the needful so that the children are not deprived of their sufficiently correct daily dose of insulin. And she has come forward. I'm extremely thankful to her. I'm also thankful to a lot of people in coming out and helping us and helping the poor brethren in giving some donations at this time, and some logistic support for giving vehicles to go ahead into the villages and other places to reach the products. The people are helping us, and also our volunteers, our angels, they are coming forward. And last but not the least, they are actually the main bloodline of our activity. So they are coming with not with all protection, with masks, regularly washing hands. In fact, our cold chain for the insulin is perfect because we have a state-of-the-art ambulance. We have a refrigerator inside, so we're keeping the temperature control till the gate of the patient, and then we are transferring the medicine into the fridge or their collective system that they maintain the temperature with. So I think we are doing good work. We need your support to carry on this kind of work, and I wanted to also let you know that we are there for you in any kind of distress, so that we can de-stress all your distress and make your life easy to live with diabetes. So live with diabetes at ease with Day. Thank you.